yankasi nua aboaje miracles ne de ne ho nsɛm a ɛwɔ hɔ. Mame ne anɔpɛyɛ ne Dr. Nyaho Tamakloe ɛna edi saa nkɔmmɔ yi. Is the founding member of the NPP. Ma yɛne ne di nkɔmmɔ kakra mpakyɛ wei no yɛbɛpotɔ mmɔ nti ntwubosi akoyɛ ana wakeka ne masie ni na uwi a wayɛ ho adwuma kama de ama yɛ. Doc, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Doc, thank you very much for your time this morning. Okay, Doc, so first of all, let me find out from your end. Have you been following your party's restructuring? Have you been following how elections are being held? Just ended the constituency elections. I don't know whether you've been following. What has been your reaction? I mean, based on information that you have.
I've been following political events in this very first, not just for NPP or about NPP. I follow each political party carefully. The NDC, the TPP, and the PNP. And they are a group of people who are politically inclined. I follow them carefully. So I know what is happening.
And are you happy with how our politics is moving?
Well, I would like you to listen to me very carefully.
Yes.
Firstly, let me thank you for giving the opportunity to comment on some issues in the country. Let me state from the onset that I'm not speaking to defend. Listen to me carefully. I'm not speaking to defend any individual or any political party. I've got a stake now. I am still a member of the NPP. I consider myself still a founding member of the party because we founded it. And I have every right to speak on activities going on there, be my comment negative or positive. However, I've got to a stage. When I speak now, I speak as another person. Now,
87.9 Kumasi.
Secondly, I'm speaking as a Ghanaian who have lived through military rule, one-party politics, and constitutional democracy. And when I say constitutional democracy, we started with constitutional democracy in the then Gold Coast and Ghana. However, it got to the time when we had military dictatorship for a long period. Luckily, through the sweat of some people, Kwame Pieni, I always mention it. Without Kwame Pieni, I believe strongly, we wouldn't have been at where we are today. A man who sacrificed his life, a man who was nearly slaughtered by the military. And he was lucky and got into prison for 25 years. He said about 12 years of his life. It was in prison that I got to know. Now, my concern at the moment is the protection of our constitution. Listen to me carefully. Of our constitution and the future of our democracy. That is my concern. And that is the main reason when political parties are misbehaving, I get very much worried. Because some people have to sacrifice their lives for you now to come and enjoy this so-called freedom of speech. And those who think freedom, they can do anything they want to. Like what we are seeing now. Now, secondly, let me make it very clear. To me, no one is above the law in this country, from the president to the least person. Let us be very clear. If anyone has misappropriated public funds, that person must be investigated. That person must, even if he's a president, he must be investigated. Public office to me is a sacred trust. And those who abuse it must be held accountable. This country has bled too much, and we are still bleeding. And the political class have been siphoning the blood of this nation. And now, very soon, anemia will kill this country. Now, whether the person who has committed an offense or is alleged to have committed an offense belongs to the NPP, NDC, CPP, PNC, or any other political party should not matter. An offense is an offense, and the person has been put behind bars or he has been arrested for questioning, be the person from my own political party, any other political party, the person should bend to the laws of the land. Luckily, the constitution we have now protects every Ghanaian. Every suspect is presumed innocent until proven guilty by a competent court. Arrest must always be complied with. Must always comply with constitutional procedures.
So in this situation, with regards to Miracles Abuaje, do you believe that the institution Iyoko acted within its mandate, or just as others are saying that this has a political tone, as in intimidation, as they call it?
A political tone in what sense? If you can explain that to me. What do you mean by a political tone? I have told you from the onset that nobody is above the law of this nation.
Exactly.
I was arrested not once, twice. Firstly, myself and a group of soldiers trying to overthrow a government of a military junta. It's like Kwame was trying to do. Second, arrest and imprisonment for 4 years. I was to serve, I think, 6 years or so. And somewhere along the line, they realized that we have not done it. Myself and a former, minister or commissioner of national security, Kenneth C.G. Bennett, may he rest in peace. So when I'm speaking, I know what I'm talking about. I have experience. Nobody came to my aid. And I respected the laws of the land, or we respected the laws of the land, and I allowed it to operate. An arrest of one singular person should not bring the whole political party out into the public domain. It doesn't speak well of the leadership of the party. Now, as you asked nicely, definitely this particular question that we are seeing now is in terms of state institutions. They are security institutions. They have been set up to do a work. And if we are not allowing them to do their work, then that is what exactly is happening. It will lead to only one thing: totally destroy the political class image in the eye of the ordinary person. Listen to me carefully. And if this continues with the robbing of state coffers, which has become a norm, everybody is struggling to become a politician now because they know they will come and rob the state. If that continues, and listen to me carefully, and those who are listening to me, they should listen to me carefully. I have said things time and again, and they have happened because I've lived through it and I know what I talk about. If we continue on the target that we are now, unnecessary strikes attacking government institutions and whatnot,
87.9 Kumasi.
if the political class keep on failing the masses as it's continuing now, as is happening now, I don't care which party is in power. Because this involves all of it. If that continues, if we continue the state coffers and nothing is done about it, like how a whole finance minister should take to his heels, never in the history of this country, I have not even heard it anywhere in the world where a finance minister will disappear and go and take refuge somewhere. If this continues, the rank and file, the people you see around, don't think they're fools. When they get fed up with it, I'm saying this because I know it will happen. The way we are going, when that happens, and then you have an uprising which shouldn't surprise any man with logical mind or brain. The uprising happens. The uprising can be handled by the so-called those who create it. So what will happen is that we shall walk just into the hands of the country, and that will be the end of it. Mark my words. If we continue on this target, it will happen.
Do we have a remedy to this? And
we have remedy.
How do we
have remedy.
So what's the remedy?
The remedy is simple. We must respect our own constitution. That's point number one. Democracy does not mean just shouting in parliament. Democracy means respecting your own constitution. You have been given a position. Be honest to the state. Don't rob the state. We see young people in university with so-called first-year degrees and whatever you call it, and they walk straight into the political arena. For what reason? Just to rob the state. How can a boy at the age of 38, even 40, let's say 40, in political arena within a short time, acquire mansions in Trazaco, acquire other properties, and drive luxury cars around? Can he account for where he got the money from? This is a simple thing people must understand now. To do that, then we know we are moving forward. The problem facing is hospitals without doctors, hospitals uncompleted, some areas no even clinics for them. Very soon we shall be 70 years old as an independent state. And mind you, let me give you one simple example. Our contemporaries, when I say our political contemporaries, during the early 60s or late 50s, when we had our or mid 50s, countries like Singapore, countries like Malaysia, they had business institutions and were able to bring their respective nations. At the moment I speak with you, to the level of so-called development. We are still struggling. No good roads, no hospitals. When even roads are asked to be constructed, money is given are stolen by leadership. You can't have democracy. Democracy doesn't come this way.
Doc, one thing that I want to ask is about our institutions, whether just as we see them to be independent, are they working as such?
Well, we were advised a couple of years back when Akoma was the president by, I think, President Obama, that we should make our institutions strong. Believe me, if the institutions are working and they are strong, if bribes are not being taken in offices and in the streets, the police is not taking bribes. If every other person you see would, even on the market, look at how the women price even foodstuff at their own will. When we believe that there is a lot of foodstuff in the farm, look at the way they price it. When I finish with you, check the price of a tomato in this country at this very day. I don't know about Kumasi, but in Accra here it is a hell. We create the problems ourselves. If we allow the institutions to operate freely, I can assure you that this country will move forward.
Are we doing so, Doc? Are we allowing them to work? That was a question.
No. If you ask me that question, I am not running this country. So don't ask me. Ask those who are running this country or those who were running this country before. Have they allowed the institutions to operate? If they have allowed the institutions to operate freely, Oforiata will be in this country today. Damn it. Why should he run away? The worst of all that he was even trying to take cover with a medical condition. That tells you that he's a liar, and a deadly person. But Oforiata didn't start today. I don't want to talk more. You people should do their own search and find out areas where he has misbehaved in the financial sector, and you understand.
I see. So, what would be the advice for the young politicians who are studying the trend that we are going? What would be the advice?
Leadership that will show them the way. What happened, I think yesterday, or I don't know when it was, concerning that Abuaji, Dennis Abuaji, tells us definitely that there is a problem with my party's leadership. Even the sort of statement made by the General Secretary of the party would never have happened under BJ Daruja.
That
you ask yourself, listen to me. Go and read something. I'm not going to teach you. You are a journalist. I should have asked you. Try to find out the statement he made when he was interviewed. A general secretary of such a mighty political party. This can never happen under Daruja. As we sit down today, we have no national chairman of our party. Neither do we know who is the vice national chairman. They are all gone. You follow me? So you ask yourself, who is then leading the party? That is why I said from the onset go that when a political party is defeated abysmally, as we had in 2024, in all civilized countries, what is done is that the leadership quits the scene. Nobody asks them to go. They leave voluntarily. It never happened here.
So that doesn't mean that you are advocating for change of leadership. Okay.
I am coming. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. Then you bring your question.
All right.
Now, what rather they did was to create a situation of confusion by sending people to go and find out what the people feel. You don't do that. And if you do that, or you did that, you let the public know exactly the feelings of the masses. That was not what they came to tell us. We know it. And then they decided to pick the leader of the party from the top. I told them it will never work. And watch my words, it will never work. Look at what happened in Ashanti region 2 days ago. Look at what happened there. Not there alone, other places. Now, if we fail to respect our own institutions.
Akoma FM 87.9
Like it happened
Kumasi.
yesterday, we are walking into destruction.
Okay.
If rules are respected, even sanitation rules, they are there.
FM 87.9
They have been punished for what he or she has done. When I was a child, Accra was a very neat, beautiful place. It wasn't, we didn't have all these mansions around. Mansions put up with stolen money from the state. Even if the monies have come from outside, like the Libanese do, we won't say anything. But the monies are our own monies that have been stolen by our own leaders. And they put on mansions. To Pedroase now.
Akoma FM
And you open your
87.9
mouth.
Kumasi.
You get to know the owners of the building. You ask yourself, how is that possible? When did they manage to get such a money? And nothing happens to them.
Okay.
Nothing. Sister is found with tons of cash in her room. What happened? Nothing. Another government comes and will not talk about it.
87.9 Kumasi.
Nothing.
Akoma FM 87.9
Now,
Kumasi.
people should keep
Okay.
it straight now.
Okay.
If you want to go the tangent you are taking now, you can continue and say how this country will end.
Doc, thank you very much for your time. But before you leave us, House of Folk fans are listening this morning. Myself and a brother here, we are ardent, and we follow House of Folk. We monitor a lot of things that happen within the club. As we speak, we don't have a coach. I mean, you are a board member.
No.
When are we going to see
Akoma FM 87.9
the new face of...
Before I end with the House of Folk topic, let me add one thing to it for your listeners and Ghanaians. Now, what happened yesterday or last week is not the first time Ghana has witnessed such a thing. That is the arrest of Abuaji, Dennis Abuaji, or whatever it's called. We must not pretend that what happened
Akoma
in Saturday
FM 87.9
was a
Kumasi.
new case, something new. It's not. I'll give you an example, and listen to me carefully. After we are national, a new patriotic party came to power in 2001. Chachu Chikata, listen to me carefully, was arrested and prosecuted. There was no protest like we are doing. Listen to me carefully. Dan Agbodakwi was also arrested and prosecuted. Ibrahim Adam was prosecuted and imprisoned. He's no more in life. He has died.
87.9 Kumasi.
Now, other officials of the Rawlings administration also faced investigations. Now, during the Akufo-Addo administration, investigations involved people such as Cecilia Dapa and Bisu. Now, under the current administration, we have Chairman Wuntumi and now Dennis Abuaji, who have been arrested. Of course, others have been arrested. The pattern has continued, regardless of which political party is in power. The important question to me is whether constitutional procedures are being followed. Was the suspect cooperating with the investigators? Was an arrest necessary? Was the individual informed of the reasons for his arrest or her arrest?
Akoma FM 87.9
Was access
Kumasi.
to legal counsel granted immediately or within period that is allowed? Were the bail conditions reasonable or not given? And as I talk to you now, I think Abuaji has been given bail, provided he can, what do you call it?
Meet the conditions.
He can exactly meet the conditions. Now, these are the questions you Ghanaians, every Ghanaian should ask.
Akoma FM
We must
87.9
always allow the
Kumasi.
Constitution to guide us. We have in Article 14, it guarantees personal liberty. Article 17 guarantees equality before the law. Article 19 guarantees the presumption of innocence. These constitutional protections do not disappear because someone belongs to the opposition or the ruling party. So these are the things we have to watch.
Okay.
Those who have been talking
Akoma FM
political
87.9
position,
Kumasi.
just like the general secretary of the party said, is just sensational. Yes. He didn't use that word. He used a different word that I can't remember now.
Akoma FM
We know
87.9
after every
Kumasi.
poll there must be
Akoma
an election.
FM 87.9
And if the people
Kumasi.
decide to change the government, they change the government.
Exactly.
So if they want to do that, or they want to use that as a retaliatory method of running this nation, then I warn them, we
Okay.
shall get nowhere.
Okay.
Now let's come on the House of People.
Yes. House of Folk. When are we getting?
Your question again.
I was asking when we are getting a new coach as we prepare for a new season.
Yeah, certainly
Akoma
the board of
FM
directors of the club
87.9 Kumasi.
have decided to let the
Akoma
former
FM
coach
87.9
go
Kumasi.
away, and they are making preparations for a new coach to come. We are doing this because we now want a coach that will let the boys or teach the boys how to be hungry for goals.
Akoma
We
FM
can't be defending all
87.9
the
Kumasi.
time. We must change our style of play. Because we have footballers. You can see that someone over the line.
Akoma FM
They
87.9
don't give us
Kumasi.
the goals that will let us get high. We are always within the middle belt. So definitely the board has taken the right decision.
Akoma
And-
FM 87.9 Kumasi.
And before the season, you will definitely hear about the new coach for the club.
Okay. So that means the former coach was sacked because House of Folk were not scoring goals.
We were not. I mean, agree with me. Most of our most of our so-called wins were so minimal. And apart from that, either we draw or we lose. That's sort of how we even got to the level we got to. It surprises some of them. If you have studied carefully the charts, you can know.
Oh, I see.
We're not scoring. Look, when I was a young boy, even a small boy, was House of Folk. We didn't start today. It's in our blood. When I was a kid, I was still in even primary school. House of Folk was such a wonderful, strong club that when
see.
they play football and you are not present or you were not there, all you ask your colleagues is
Akoma
that how many
FM
goals were scored,
87.9 Kumasi.
whether House of Folk won or lost. You say how many goals were scored, and then 5, 2, 5, 3. That's how the club is so popular.
The days of
Now we are not like that. And
the
we
days
want,
of
we want to come.
Ishmaelado, Dombotes, and the rest. Yeah.
Oh yes, even those are very recent. I'll call them recent. Because we have had players in House of Folk now. There was a time when House of Folk represented this very country, Ghana, in international match. So it's not a club to be joked with. And when you come down to Accra, I will advise you to go to Kobeman and have a look at our new academy.
Okay.
And you see what is called progress. And come down to see our new headquarters at Parry Avenue. And you see what is called progress. And go and see just behind the headquarters, our new commercial center. No club in this country at the moment has been able to do that. And none of them can do it.
So the club is making progress.
Yes, we have done it.
Okay, so but finally I want to find out from your end your assessment of Benjamin Asare at the World Cup. I mean, how will you rate his performance?
He's been rated already by FIFA. Oh, you are not aware?
I am.
Huh?
I am. Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah. Where was it placed by FIFA? In the world?
At the time, it was fifth. Yes.
Yeah, fifth.
Yes.
Fifth in the world. Fifth in the world. So you see now. You are a young man. I'm an elderly man, but and I read and listen a lot. You follow me? Mm-hmm.
And do you think that this should be an eye-opener for our FA when you have a local player representing the country at that top level? Sometimes you hear comments from some football people, I mean, about our league. The league is not good. Our players are not there. I mean, they cannot represent the country at that level. This is something that Benjamin Asare has done. And I think after the World Cup, Ghana should be able to make progress in terms of our local league and how we look at our players within the economy, as in the football economy, how we position them. Do you agree that we have to start thinking beyond what we are doing now and pay attention to our league, invest in it?
Look, listen to me carefully. What you are talking about now is, I have said it time and again, that for this national team to progress, they must be next here in Ghana. I've said it time and again. I have the records I can show you. Indeed, not quite long ago, when Otto Addo was for the national team, I was invited by the FA to a conference at Pram Pram. I met him there. And I called him and said, young man, try and nurse the boys we have at home. Because if you are to get good results, that is where they will come from. You know what he told me? He smiled and said, oh, sir, you want people to laugh at me. This is what they told me. Otto Addo. He's not dead. He's alive. You can ask him. He knows me.
That.
So what? You say?
He told you that?
He told me, when I told him that the future of Ghana football lies in this country. Well, it has happened before. Kwame Nkrumah was able to win 2 Africa Cup of Nations for Ghana. For what? How did he go about it? He had interest in football himself, and he put money in. And thirdly, he brought in a coach from Sweden called Rosberg in the 50s, late 50s. He didn't stop there. He brought another Hungarian coach. And during the era of Akoma, he was able to win 2 caps. Indeed, if he has not been removed, maybe we would have won several caps. The next cup that we won, that's the third one, was under General Kutu Achampong. He had interest in football as well. Indeed, he made himself Minister of Youth and Sports, in addition to other responsibilities, and got a representative, a full Lieutenant Colonel, Sentin Misa, to represent him at the sports stadium to see football and football in particular.
87.9 Kumasi.
And what was the result of the African Cup of Nations? Ghana won it again. Indeed, that the final one was played at Accra Sports Stadium. I was there. I was then a young officer in the army as a doctor at 37.
Okay.
Right? Now, Achampong sent a helicopter from Burma camp to come and paint the place. I want you to see how some of these things work. Burma camp to come and paint the place from the pitch there to Burma camp to meet him. He did that. I'm not the oldest man in this country. There are people far older than me. And they can testify. That was the third one. The fourth, the African Cup that we won, and after that we have not had anything, and I doubt when soon we shall have another, was under, I would say the work was started by Liman, President Liman. So, even though his stay was very short, he did a lot for football as well. Then Liman, we had a military intervention June 4. After June 4, it was just 3 months. Then came
87.9 Kumasi.
PNDC. So it was under the PNDC that we went to Libya. We were supposed to be in Libya. We couldn't have money even to pay for tickets for the boys. Libya sent an aircraft to come and pick them back. And they brought them back. I was at the airport, and the most beautiful thing, I was sitting at the golf polo with my other colleagues in the middle.
Okay.
And then we saw the aircraft coming like that. It was an Air Force plane of Libya. And they were protected and saluted by Ghana jet planes. We had jet planes. It was beautiful to watch.
I see.
Abedepele is alive. You can ask him.
Okay, I see. I see.
So until we get a coach who will be prepared to stay in this country and then bring up our boys, teach them like Senegal and other countries are doing, like Congo is doing. Look at Congo. Can we stand Congo now? Can anyone stand Quebec? My God. We have a long way to go.
We have a long way to go.
Gentlemen.
Doc, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
Welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you. I was a friend, Dr. Nyaho Tamakloe. I mean, Tram Homrana, Penny Fatanasi. Everybody see a JB Waha.